Okay, for the next speaker, next topic we have, how do we do low cost automation maintenance techniques? To present this paper, so we have a Ericsson team from Soumaditya, Pankaj, Kumar, Srinivas Reddy. Welcome on the stage.
And I hope everyone is able to do that. And we have already done the speaker profile, so we can go to the next slide, please, Samaditya.
Yeah, okay.
Very good. So, thanks all for joining us today. And we are going to talk about low cost automation maintenance techniques. Now, uh, in our day-to-day life in test automation, the test cases numbers are increasing as we get into the DevOps life cycle every day. Now, if we are increasing the test automation numbers, the maintenance becomes even more costly affair. And as the time progresses, it becomes a resource and time intensive job and actually prohibits the project to utilize the maximum benefit of automation. Now, for that, uh, I mean, in general case, what we do, we follow a traditional approach. What we do to maintain is we ask the test automation developers to perform the best practices. Now, what are those best practices? We tell them that clear test data management. I mean, it has to be the test data has to be always teared down. Second, you will always have to do a regular health checkups of the automation suites. Third, always do an impact analysis of any new enhancements in your application. Second is, and the last but not the least is, use less UI automation, more of API automation. But is this working? Many a times we have seen that even if you go down up to the unit test level also, if the numbers are increasing, the problem still lies with the maintenance. So we are going to present today what are those best practices that we can utilize uh, to solve in a modern way, not following the traditional approach, because everybody, I guess, following all these good things that I just talked about. But we will see how we can modernize test maintenance techniques. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, so I have Samaditya with me now. Samaditya, to be honest, I always face a problem. That is, how do I do the RCA, root cause analysis of all the failed test cases? Every day somebody asks me this, and I'm struggling to provide that feedback quickly because everybody is asking me, give me that feedback right away. What could be the way to avoid this, and how can I provide this feedback quickly?
Okay, so what I understood from your question is like, so I can see you're having like 164 test cases, out of which 53 test cases failed. And if you assigned any automation engineer to do that RCA for this one, for this 53 failure, it will take lot many times. But if I'll give you like some of the unique failures, then I guess like the automation tester will actually have a less time to do that RCA, right? But how to do that one? So what we can do, like, so here we'll use one of the unsupervised learning. I believe like you are using robot framework scripts over here. So what I'll do, like, so I'll pick that output.xml from there. From there I'll do one unsupervised learning technique. I'm just whatever the failures type are there, from there we can create unique cluster. So maybe in your failures, maybe some of the failures may be same. I don't know like what are the failures. That is the reason I want like unsupervised learning, because I'm not aware of the results. So I can do unsupervised learning, and then I'll do a clustering basis. So basically we can use a k-means cluster over here to do the clustering of all your failure scenarios. And even in fact, like for this 53 for this 53 failure, maybe it will bring down to 7 or 8 unique clusters. So then if you assign those 7 or 8 clusters to your automation tester, so they just need to do that RCA for 8 test cases. That's it, nothing else. So I don't need to do much more over here. So by this way, what you can do, like, so you can have your RCA time will be much lesser. So this is one of the standard practice that we are following, that also you can do, Srini.
This looks great. So basically, you are telling me that you are going to group these similar errors together, and I can work on all these. This will definitely solve my problem. Thank you so much, Samaditya, for solving my first problem. But I have got another one.
Okay.
Okay, so the next problem is even more clumsy. Many a times it happens that uh, I need to know that what is failing today. It may so happen that few of the test cases, because of certain defects, are everyday failing, but I need to know what is the delta that is failing today. How do I identify from the previous runs that what exactly is failing only today? Can you help me with that?
Yeah, sure, Srinivas. So for here, what this kind of problem also we faced in our project as well. So see, I mean, if we are having not that huge amount of data, so then we don't need to use any kind of DB also to store all those historical data. Instead of that, you can utilize a normal like CSV, gather all those failures over there, failure results. So there we just need to use pandas. So this will be a we can say like a pure automation technique we can use over here. By using that pure automation technique, we'll just take from the date time stamp over there for all those failures, and we can simply create a report for you like, okay, so these are the unique failures that occur today. So by this way you can even get to know like, okay, so let's suppose you are having 149 failures that I can see. So maybe you just wanted to check like, okay, I know like 30 to 40 failures are there, even if yesterday and I do already that RCA. I do not want to check that RCA for those 30. Give me that only the current unique failures which occur today. So I'll do that simple automation over there, automation scripts with that CSV by using the pandas, and I'll show you like, okay, so these are only the unique failures for you. Will it helpful for you, Srinivas?
It is going to, because this is exactly what I was looking for. And thank you so much for that. So basically, we should be utilizing the modern technologies using ML to solve our problems of day to day that we were not able to do it in yesterday. So thank you so much. Let's go to the third problem. I have got another
Yes.
one for you, Samaditya.
Okay, so let me check the next. Okay.
Okay, so the third problem is that uh, I have got around 3,000 test cases in my automation suite, and I see that with the number increasing day by day, the automation execution time is also increasing, and it is not only a pain for the DevOps pipeline, but it also restricting me to wait for that feedback for so long. My automation team waits around 2 to 3 or 4 hours sometimes just to get the feedback for these cases, and we are not able to do any productive work because of this. Can you help me with any of the solutions which can reduce my automation execution?
Yeah, why not? And I can see like our another expert is here, Pankaj. So Pankaj, can you take this answer like how the best way we can minimize the execution time? Okay, so maybe he's having a problem. So anyway, so maybe I can take care of this question, Srinivas. So what you need to do, like, see, I mean, there is a concept for parallel run. So currently you are doing maybe with your sequential run you are doing, right? So instead of that, instead, I mean, if let's suppose you are having like 2,000 test cases, so with the I mean, with the sequential run, maybe you will take lot many times to execute. But instead of that, if I'll introduce the pabot to you with having a parallel run mechanism, maybe there you can use a test suit label. So if let's suppose your 2000 test cases are there, here and there maybe bits and pieces into 20 to 30 suits. If I'll enable you to run your 30 suits in a parallel way, so the total execution time for you will be, if you it's taking like 2 hours to execute, so you can see like in the below one, where I just need the similar suit within just 60 minutes. So even if I do that parallel, so the execution time will be much more lesser, and that will help you to do some more extra work as an automation tester into some other areas. Will it be helpful, Shini?
Looks great. Basically, we have to scale and make things parallel. So, thank you so much for that feedback as well. I will try to implement this and see how it comes out.
Sure.
But, Samaditya, it's not over. I have got more problems.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a generic problem for a test automation developer. I always write test cases and I feel that I'm a very good automation developer and I do everything correctly. But nobody is going and testing my code. It's very difficult and tedious. So basically, I want to learn from you that how can I make automation code review seamless and automated? Can you help me with that?
That's a good question, Srini. And what I believe were like, so by seeing your slide, so you are using a robot framework script for you, right, for your project. So
That is
if
correct.
okay, so if you are using robot framework, so there are some tools present in the market that you can use. So like the first one is the RoboCop. What this RoboCop is actually doing, like it's a cop, and it's inspect your code. So what it will do, it will check if you are having any syntax error in your code, something with this indentation, maybe you are not doing the proper industry practice, but maybe some new automation coder is there in your project, they are not following the practice in your coding structure. So then RoboCop will inspect those syntax related errors. So you don't need to manually review that one. But what if you are manually reviewing that one, then also you are telling your automation tester, right, like check these and fix this thing. That one also we can do by using an automation that's called the robot id. So what this robot id will do, whenever the robocop will detect the syntax related error, so robot id will smart enough to fix all those problems for you. So this here, no manual intervention will be required for you. All the things will be done by RoboCop and Robot ID. The good thing is like also you can place this one in your repository. So let's suppose if you are doing your code, you are just take just a branch from your main branch, and then you are trying to create a pull request over there. So at that time also in your code repository also you can implement this robocop and robotite to do a checklist over there, so you can implement that checklist that it should be passed through. So then you don't need to do anything extra effort for doing the automation review manually. You can do all these things by automation itself, so automation on top of automation.
This looks even better. So you are telling me like we have cops to maintain law and order, we should have a cop in test automation as well to maintain this law and order. So thank you so much for that. Let me try this out as well. But again, my problems are not solved. Let me go to my next problem. Yeah, this is very, very interesting and looks like it is the most time consuming problem for us, that I have to do the root cause analysis of the recurring known issues. That it it I mean, I always know if I do it manually one by one, I am able to find out that it is because of this intermittent issue or a script issue, and we have to fix that. Something I know that that password expiry is done, but I waste a lot of time, and many a times we have seen that uh, overall, if the test cases out of 450 test cases, 25% failed, 90% of them are recurring or intermittent, and 10% only of them are worth investing time, that means that could be an application defect. But what we do, we waste our time, 90% of our time, in identifying those intermittent or recurring issues. Is there any way that I can identify those intermittent failures and save my time and focus only on those 10% worth investing time test cases to identify the real defects in the application code?
It's a very good question, Srinivas. So, what we can do over here is like, so we are having, I mean, artificial intelligence, right? So, artificial intelligence we need to use in our testing area in a very proper way. If you remember, like, if the for the problem one, in the problem one, we are using unsupervised learning with the K-means cluster over there to categorize all those defects. Now, here you wanted like, okay, so I know these are the test cases failure, but I need to know like why these kind of issues occur. So for that one also you can do a supervised learning technique over here. What will be the supervised learning technique for you? Let's suppose you have your all those test cases which are failed. Now you have to do just one time like to check what are the failure reason. You just one time you have to do a manual supervision. So what you will do like, so all the test cases which you are getting as a failed, you just check, you develop your script, you know like what can be that issue by checking that failure reason by manually. So what you need to do like, you just need to place what are the issue that currently you are checking that one. Maybe it's an intermittent issue, maybe it's an environment issue, maybe it's in something with the data issue, there can be, or something with currently we can say like it's an application defect, so you can mention that one as a defect. So in an Excel file you just need to mention like, okay, so this is the test case ID, number one column. Number two column that you need to provide like, okay, so if the test case ID, what are the defects that I am currently able to see for that particular test case. Third one, if you are saying like, okay, so this is my test case ID, this is my failure reason, and then I did that manual supervision and don't know like, okay, so what is the defect. So I just mentioned one thing with the category, what is the defect that I want to, I mean, what is the reason that I want to put over here. I just put that category as intermittent issue. I just put that category as data issue. I can put that category as environment, I mean, intermittent or environment issue, something like that. And then what I'll do like, so I can also provide you another option with the resolution. What is that resolution will do? So I can put another extra column like resolution. I know like something if happened over there, so from there I just tell you like, okay, so maybe if this kind of issue occurred, then maybe you can refer to this particular thing. So even from that particular Excel you can put the test case IDs, or maybe the script IDs, the categories of your defect, the quick resolution that you are also trying to provide over there. So that one you just create a model, you just create a supervised learning technique on top of that. Now what will be the beneficial for that one? Next time onwards, whenever you are having this kind of failure, if that failure will be there with the train, the model is already trained with that data. So next time onwards, even if the failure occurred, it will automatically say you like, okay, so these are the intermittent issue, these are the environment issue, you don't need to do the RCA anymore. That RCA will be done by your script itself. All these things will be done by the using of artificial intelligence plus automation. Will it be helpful, Shrini?
It looks great, and I would definitely like to use it in our project and see how it comes out. But it's very interesting and it is really a problem solver. And thank you so much, Samaditya, for having all my problems addressed and giving me the right reasons in a modernized way. Now, another problem for you. Last problem. I always face that out of 400 test cases, 300 or 30 of those test cases fail. and I have to do those failure cases manually. I have to rerun those cases manually, and again it introduces delay. It consumes my bandwidth, and it is not a task which should be done manually. How do I solve this problem as well?
So basically, what reading through this one and also what you have said, what I understood is like, so you do have a test cases around 400 or 300, and out of which 100 test cases failed. And you know, like, okay, so few of the issues may be intermittent, or I don't know, like, what is the reason, but I just need to rerun that one. I just need to go to over there and manually rerun all those scripts over there. So that is also a time consuming, and if you are doing this one at night, so in morning again you have to rerun those scripts again. So that there the manual dependency will be there. That your question, right? So for
Exactly.
Okay, so for this one also we do have a solution for this one. What you can do, like, so let's suppose if you are having a automation test cases of 400, so from there you will have 100 test case failure. But before than that, in that CI/CD pipeline, if you are able to create one mechanism in like in a threshold value. So what you need to do, like in the threshold value, you just put like, okay, so what, how much percentage of failure I want, and then if that percentage of failure will be there, so that script will rerun automatically. Now why this threshold value we are providing over there? The reason behind this is like, because currently in the days we see like when shift left automation we are doing, so we need to do that automation in dev environment, because the client is asking for automation in the dev starting from very early stage. We need to automate, we need to do that automation scripts in dev environment, maybe in the SIT environment, maybe in the UAT environment, maybe in the higher environment like in sandbox as well. But depending on the environment we can configure our thresholds as well. I know like in the development environment, lot many developers are doing their scripting and all, so the maybe the failure percentage will be high. So I can mention that threshold value over there, maybe 40% can be bearable in the dev environment. But in the UAT environment, if I said that the threshold value is a 20%, so if the failure is actually more than 20%, then it will automatically rerun your failure scripts, as well as the last stage. What you will do, like, so the first results and the second results will merge together and see you the proper output. So you will get like 400, maybe 380 passed and 220 failed only, by utilizing this rerun functionality in your CI/CD pipeline itself with having a threshold value.
This is a great way of solving my problem. Thank you so much, Samaditya, for this one as well. And with this, we come to the end of our session. Is that correct?